Greece will seek additional funding from the European Union for urgent safety upgrades to the country's rail network, the Greek government announced Monday. This comes after public outrage over a deadly train collision. 57 people died when a passenger train collided head-on with a freight train last week in central Greece. The station manager is facing charges now, and the crash has sparked massive protests in Greece. Demonstrators believe cost-cutting measures during Greece's debt crisis weakened the country's rail network. And we are joined this morning by Greek ambassador to the U.S., Alexandra Papadopoulou, who is the first woman, we should mention, from Greece to hold that position. Congratulations on that, as Morning Rush recognizes Women's History Month. Thank you so much for being here, and my sincere condolences for this tragedy that killed 57 people in Greece.
57 young people in their majority. They were students going back to their classes in northern Greece after a long weekend. It was a tragic accident. Of course, the investigation is ongoing to find the real causes of the accident. The station manager has taken responsibility for his mistakes. But what the Greek government wants is to find the real causes why human mistakes were not corrected in time. This system should have checks and balances, and this is why we ask the European Union's technical assistance in correcting the missing points in the system, in the security system.
Right, and Ambassador, I mean, I have to say a personal note, this is personal. My sister takes this train in Greece from Athens to go home, like you mentioned. You know, the European Commission president actually tweeted that she has spoken to the Greek Prime Minister about this, to provide offering to provide technical support to improve safety. We know Greece is asking for more money, as we mentioned, but wasn't there already a safety upgrade project that was partially funded by the EU? And why didn't that work in this scenario?
There was. One thing that maybe we all should remember is Greece went through a 10-year huge economic crisis, and a lot of the upgrading had to take second seat in other urgent needs because a lot of cuts, a lot of problems. So we started regrouping our country after we went out of this economic crisis. So yes, the money was was appropriated by the government for the upgrading, but unfortunately the upgrading was not completed. There was only 70 kilometers left, and it was those fatal 70 kilometers that were missing in the system.
So where did that money go? Did they run out of money, or did it go somewhere else?
No, the money was there. Okay. It's still there. The system was bought. But it's not only to buy the system, you have to install the system and train the people. And that has to be done gradually. You know, Greece is full of mountains. It's in regions, so you go from one region to another. So 3/4 was completed. The other 1/4 was not put in place. It was bought. It's there. We have it, but it was not put in place, and that proper training hasn't taken place.
And a few weeks ago, U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken actually visited Greece and met with the Prime Minister there. Blinken announced that the U.S. will invest more than $100 million on an air and naval base. And Blinken said Greece has emerged as a strategic hub for NATO. So the question is, what does that investment mean to the security of not only Greece, but the EU?
The U.S.-Greek relations are their highest point, I remember, in recent memory. And Secretary Blinken's visit was very successful. There are two main points of U.S. U.S.-Greek defense cooperation. The one is in Suda Bay, in Crete, a U.S. naval base, very well known. But also there is another spot in Greece, Alexandroupolis, a northern Greece city, small city, which is a major energy and transportation hub, providing equipment assistance, military assistance, and also energy assistance all the way to Ukraine.
And moving on to another headline that a lot of people are watching in this region, and that is that earthquake in Turkey. And Greece and Turkey, you know, we don't have to say it, they've had many disagreements over the years. But when that earthquake hit, Greece stepped up with humanitarian aid. So has that done anything to improve relations between the two countries?
The tone of the relationship has completely changed. The Greek team was the first one to arrive on the spot to help the rescue team to help find survivors. We have sent tons of assistance, and I have to say that the Turkish people and the Turkish government have reciprocated. After all, we are neighbors, we live together, we understand each other. Neighbors do have differences, but this doesn't change the fact that we're human beings.
And I want to ask one more question. Elections coming up in both countries. What would those elections do for relations between the two?
Usually before elections, you don't really tackle difficult problems, and especially now that Turkey is very much involved in taking stock of the destruction of the earthquake and also helping the people. So they have this priority. Also, we have elections, so now we have the crash, which also took a heavy toll on the Greek psyche. It was very serious. But I hope that after elections, which are around the corner, things will take another speed and another form.
Okay, Ambassador Alexandra Papadopoulou, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you so much. Good morning.